Institute of Spiritual Enlightenment, soon to be known as the Institute of Sacred Evolution. Because we are growing, we are changing, things are happening in this universe, and it's good to know that we are a dynamic part of it. Don't let the absence of people fool you today. People call me and they said, well, don't cook the cherry today because I'm not going to be here. But anyway, I want to talk today about healing. You know, everybody wants to be a healer. We all want to save the world. I know I do. I really do. Especially my people. I want to save. I want them to heal. I want them to be the divine beings that they are, but they don't know it. I want to wake up their DNA. I want them to be excited about life. I want them to know the beauty of their skin, to love the kink of their hair, you know, to speak their words with wisdom, to wear their royal robes, you know, to be that elegant being that they are. I want them to feel confident in being able to speak and stand up. You know, I want them to feel good about belonging to us, whoever we are, and to decide what we are, what we're going to call ourselves, and to be a union, a great union, because I believe, I know that we are the ones, we are the caretakers of this earth. When we hear things, you know immediately whether it's a lie or it's the truth. Now, whether you trust yourself or not and you accept it, that's a different story. Because we'll doubt ourselves, nah, that's not right, nah. But first you have to get yourself to a place of trusting. And then when you get to that place of trusting, you start knowing. But if you never get yourself to that place of even trusting you, or even knowing what is my yes within my own physical body, or what is my no within my own physical body, then I can't trust. I'm always in doubt. There are no silly questions, because you have to ask the right question to get the right answer. So that means that you have to take chances, and that maybe you're not asking the right question. And that's okay too, because there may be somebody else who's hearing you ask the question who needed that one. There's only good choices and better choices. I would love to see us make better choices. And that takes time. It takes time on working on yourself of who you are as that divine person, and then putting yourself around like-minded people who can assist you on that journey. Because it makes it very difficult for you if you're thinking positive thoughts and you're doing wonderful things, and then you're around a lot of negative energy. And in this world, the negativity can be very difficult to overpower. I don't care how much love you may have inside of you. If you haven't practiced making that love within inside of you strong, no matter what it is that you see or experience, then the amount of negativity that's out there, or the amount of maybe just one person who's in your surroundings, can make it very difficult. I said I wanted to talk about healing, because we always say that we want to heal. And I don't think that we are recognizing how much we do heal on a day-to-day basis. We heal with our looks. Just looking at someone. We heal by touching someone. We heal by giving a smile. We heal so many different ways. Even a mother who is in a war-torn area and she's holding on to dear life for her child is healing. That's a healing. Because right then and there, when she's holding that child, she's feeling, you know, I just want you to be safe. I'm going to protect you. That's healing. Because even though that child may be afraid of what's going on, because he's in his mother's arms, he's feeling safe. When we love one another, when we touch one another, when we be in harmony with one another, we are healing. There's more healing going on this planet than we even know. Mm-hmm. When the trees are growing, that's healing. When the grass is growing, that's healing. And we work in that divine harmony with the trees, with the grass, because the trees exchange oxygen with us. With oxygen and with nitrogen, carbon dioxide. So there's a dynamic going on with us and the trees. There's a dynamic on us when we walk barefooted on the grass and we release all of our negative thoughts or dis-eases within our own body into Mother Earth. She loves it. Mm-hmm. Don't ever think that you are not loving Mother Earth when you walk with your bare feet on the earth and allow all that negativity within your body just drain out. You feed her, you give her an opportunity. And then Father Son shoots out his rays to the earth. Healing takes place because the grass can grow. The little insects and the worms can feel that energy from the sun while they're moving in the bosom of Mother Earth. And when we expand our thinking to understand who and what we are and how we heal, how we can genuinely and absolutely love one another just by a kind word, sometimes even with just a text. Hey, I thought about you today. How you doing? Healing. Healing is the most inexpensive, easiest thing that we can do for one another. Just a smile, beautiful smile, beautiful smile. It makes you feel good when somebody smiles at you. You can't help it. It's almost infectious. You know, you want to smile back. Because when you give away your smile to someone, you might have just made the best thing happen in their day. Yeah. I know a couple of years ago when I was walking down the street and I had just had an argument with someone, I was tight, I was livid. And I was just walking to the subway and it was an older woman, she was sitting on the porch. It was early in the morning. And she looked at me and she said, "Sweetie, it's not all that bad." And when she smiled, it was like, it just took a load off of me. You know, just her smile. And the way she said it, I'm like, how'd she know? So there must have been something in my aura that was giving her the message, hey, this lady needs a smile. And she did. She just gave me a big old grin. And I was, oh, man. And that thing stayed with me all day. It was able to lift me all day because every time I was feeling a little bit, you know, disgusted or I thought about the argument, I saw her smile. That's how we heal. We're doing it all the time. But to do the Creator's work, it's not hard at all. It's very simple. It's very easy. You just have to learn to be and then be. And you know, when you say that, you say, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm just being. But there is a journey in working to get there to just be.
That's right.
Because you have to be able to read your barometer, which is your physical body. This is the house that God lives in. This is the house that Dorita built. And when I'm talking about my own physical body, and I'm talking about your own physical body, that's the house that you built. So you should care for that house by watering it. Fresh, beautiful, alkaline water. Breathe in those chemtrails, knowing that when you do, you are purifying the air because you are God. I know we know about the chemtrails and we say, you know, we don't want to breathe that stuff in. But when you, knowing who you are and knowing where you stand as holy ground, you can change anything. First thing you have to do is to change your mind about the thoughts that you're thinking.
Absolutely.
And take absolute control over your thoughts. Because your thoughts are divine. And they're divine because you are God's. In the beginning, the Word was with
God.
Speak your words and make it happen. Make the healing happen. When you see accidents on the street, instead of saying, oh my goodness, oh, bless it, God, use your powers. Become more comfortable with who you are as that divine being. When you have $2 in your pocket, instead of saying, I don't have no money, I have $2. And I'm going to multiply this $2. And some thought will come into your head of what it is that you need to do to multiply those $2. The challenge is, are you going to take up that thought and follow it through? Because usually that's where we stop ourselves and we'll say, I don't have enough money. Nobody's going to help me. Nobody's going to make. You should start doubting. You should start beating that thought down. How do you think your child feels? Because that thought that you sent out is your child. Because you have to remember that we had created that thought. We put it out there. What is it going to do now because you beat it up? I only have $2. I have $2. The thought comes, oh, you know what? I have some shoes that I never wore, and I can put those on, I can sell them. Maybe get some more money for those shoes. Nah, I can't do that. Nobody's gonna buy them. Nobody wears my size shoes. So that's what you start doing. You start beating up your child, and now the child is feeling all sad, neglected, unfulfilled. But it was what you just gave birth to. And when we start understanding what it is that we're doing, how we're moving in this universe, what are the words that are coming out of my mouth? What are the thoughts that I'm thinking? And we're having control over that. And there's nothing wrong with having control over your divine thoughts. Because after all, they are yours. It's like you having control over your home, your bills. And I look at my bills as investments. Because I'm investing in Pepco. I'm investing in the water company. So those are my investments. They're not bills. So you see, when you turn those thoughts around and you change them into the different things because you're God, it's not so difficult. It's not so difficult. But we have to get to that point where we're taking on that responsibility, or as I like to say, that mantle of being God. And I know sometimes people say, well, I can't say that. Okay, then don't say it out loud. Say it quietly to yourself until you get the confidence to say it out loud. I am God. Because a lot of times people say, well, that's, what's the word that the Baptists use? Sacrilegious. Blasphemy. Thank you. That's blasphemy. No. It is your true title, gods and goddesses. And we walk side by side, but somebody didn't want you to know that you were a god or a goddess. And if I can keep you not believing that you're a god or a goddess, then I can take fair advantage of you. And I said, well, you ought to know. It's out there. You can read it, understand it. But if you don't believe it, and then get to the point where I am now knowing it, because when you're knowing it, then you can truly walk in your authority of who you are as that divine being. You won't go many places where they're going to tell you that you are God. They're going to take your power from you and they're going to send it out there. And right now, on this day, there's a lot of people who are waiting for God, Jesus, to do something for me. Well, I'm just going to pray. And if I pray the right way, and I don't think they ever taught me really how to pray. You know, what is it that you say when you pray? You understand? What do I say? What do I do? Bow your knees and bow your head. That's what happened to us. We broke our knees because we weren't standing up straight, and we bowed our head. Cut off your head, stole your. When you're among like-minded people, and you're among family that I can trust, then I pray.
Yeah.
I'm open. Closed up, head down. I don't know what's coming. I'm just saying. Sometimes I think too much, you know, and I'll take that. Sometimes I think too much. And I told you a lot of times I'm out of the box and I've kicked it over. Some people just got one foot out of the box. Like, oh yeah, there's some stuff there. Get back in the box because it's comfortable. The only thing that is constant is change. You can change and stay the same. But every time you do, just like the curl in your hair, you go higher and higher. And each time you go a little bit higher, you're going to touch the previous evolution. Just a little bit. You're going to touch it. And you say, oh, I passed that. Because now that's what gave you the lift to go higher. Because if you had any bad habit or something that you wanted to change or experience, or there was this woman or this guy that you love so much and you see them for the first time after, you know, the heartbreak, and you're able to just say, hi, how you doing? And have a nice little conversation with them and then move on down the road, and your heart didn't go pitter-patter, nor did it break again, or you felt any kind of way. You passed the test. So that's another little elevation for you. So we look hard to try to find out, well, am I pleasing to God? Am I pleasing to me? That's what you have to be concerned with. And I know sometimes that can sound as if you're being selfish. You're not being fair. But when you are loving yourself to the best of your ability, and you're being very true to yourself, and I'm not trying to do something because I want you to like me, because, you know, I've always told you that was one of my big bugaboos. I wanted everybody to like me. So I shrunk me, hoping that you would like me. But that's not who I am. That's not who I am. Who I am is out speaking my truth. So when I allow myself to speak my truth, it allows you to speak your truth, and for you to be your unique, dynamic being. Then we can have true exchange of energy and of dialogue and being who we are. I'm not hiding. And that's a lot of times what we do. And a lot of that is a part and parcel of what our problems can be, because we hide. We hide from ourselves, and we hide from others. If I do that, she's going to think I'm this, or she's going to think we make up all these little stories in our head, and then you get lost up there because you don't know what is the truth. Because you've made up all of those stories, because I think that so-and-so is going to think this of me, and if I do that, then she's going to think this of me, and then he's going to talk to her because I know they're good friends, and then they're going to be up against me. And you got all of these stories going in your head, and none of it's true. Why do we do that? But we do. I don't know. Maybe it's entertainment. because it's all coming from the inside of us. We're entertaining ourselves on the craziness and the madness that we are producing. And then we bring that madness into our lives and we say, well, why are you doing that to me? You just created the whole stage inside of your head, and then you just brought the characters to you in the physical so you can have some entertainment. Go figure. But we do it all the time, and we're not really cognizant of the fact that that's what we're doing. Love yourself. And when you start loving yourself, you start healing yourself. You won't have stiffness of joints because you're flowing with the universe and you're in the rhythm of the universe. When you allow your true, nappy, kingly hair to grow in its wonderful spirals, you're being connected to the universe divinely. When you let the sun hit your bones on the marrow, then you heat up the sun heat genes within your body. And when heat heats it up, it's going to curl the hair. It's going to curl the hair. You're the only beings on the earth that have ninth ether hair. Everybody else is what, 6 and 7. 6 is straight, 7 is what, wavy, 8 is the curly. And you have the kingly crown, your crown and your glory. We're wonderful people, but we don't know it. We don't know it. So here at the Institute of Sacred Evolution, for Sacred Evolution, we are teaching it so that you will know who you are. But it takes a strong person to really know who they are and walk in their authority. Because when you walk out of these doors, that world is going to tell you, what? That's blasphemy. You're not God. What you can do? If you're a God, give me $1,000. Isn't that what the devil always does? Make you prove it. Prove it. All of a sudden, everybody comes from Missouri. Show me. Prove it to me. Don't fall for that trap. Be the example in your life. Let your life prove it. Let your life show how great thou art. Because you'll see the transformation taken inside of your life, and they will see the transformation themselves, and they'll be wondering, what are you doing? What's going on in your life? How is this even possible? Because you're allowing yourself to mind yourself. You're allowing yourself to mind yourself. And we know when we're doing things that are not for our greatest good, whether it be for our health, whether it be for our thoughts that we're thinking, whether it be for the kindness that we do for another, just because. No reason, I just, thought about NBC and wanted to bake up a cake. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are those times when we do those type of things for another just because. There's no reason. That's a healing. That's healing going on. When you say, well, you know what, I'm going to take the baby for a weekend, from my girlfriend who just had a baby, and I'm going to keep the baby for you. That's a healing. I get some time to be by myself. To heal one another is so very easy, and it's so very loving, and it's so very healing for you. When you're just giving and doing and being your dynamically wonderful self, and you're allowing, even when you're just allowing yourself to look at a beautiful picture, you say, oh, wow, that's wonderful. You're creating endorphins inside of your own body that makes you feel good, that makes you feel relaxed. There's no tension in the body. The healing that we can do for one another is phenomenal. And you don't have to do much. Even if you see somebody on the street that's begging for money and you don't have access to the money immediately. I love that one myself. You can bless them. Have you ever had one of the homeless people bless you because you didn't give them money?
Oh, yeah.
So they're learning, they're knowing. You know, okay, you can't give me right now, but 2 cars down, maybe they'll give. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you gave them a penny, a dime, a nickel, that's a penny or a dime more than what they had. And we have to start looking at things and say things in the positive as opposed to the negative, because there is a lot of negativity in this world. There is. But I believe, and it took me a while to get to this point, I believe that there's greater good in the world than the negativity.
Right.
Even though we see that negativity and it's bombarded at us, but if we see something that we say is not a good thing and we bless it, or either we find the good in it. There's an example that I give to my students, because it was given to me, and it says, okay, you have to go out in the world and you have to find everything good and name it good. Everything that you see, you have to name it good. So there I was when I saw a mother walking down the street holding her baby's hand. I said, good thing. I saw a guy kiss his girlfriend, he took her hand and just held it up so lightly and kissed her. I said, good thing. Then I saw a dog take a poop. Beautiful good thing. Because it looked like the ice cream cone. You know how the ice cream comes out? And it was like, I said, I got this. When you can see that and say that that's good, and it was good. It was good for the animal because he was able to release. And that's what I'm saying. Good for the earth, fertilizer. So no matter what happens, even in your own day-to-day life, when you are having challenges and something is really not good for you, like say you go to the doctor and they say, wow, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to prove to myself that I can heal me. Because this is a great challenge. Because he's going to say, well, you need radiation. But you know that you had not been taking your vitamins or the nutritional supplements that you had already said that this is what you were going to do. So now it's give you the opportunity to step up to the plate and show who you really are and heal yourself. Because we know that there is nothing on this earth that cannot be healed. Even the so-called diseases that they say are unhealable. We just have to find ourselves in a particular position where we will allow that healing to take place. Because each opportunity that we allow ourselves to be healed from is growing, us developing ourselves, us giving to the Creator. The greatest gift that you can give is a perfected you. For you to evolve your soul. Your mothers gave you your physical body, and now it's your turn to give birth to your soul. And it takes work. And when you improve on you, you improve on all of humanity. Because humanity also gets an opportunity to evolve through what you're giving, because you're like a tuning fork. And when you're healing, you send that energy out to others. And when they walk past you or see you, they pick up that. All of a sudden, I just feel good. I don't know why I'm feeling so good. What happened? You just walked by with your divine self. So to heal one another, to heal yourself is divine. And the more you do it, and the more you understand, what am I doing? That I am healing. That I am being that divine being. There's nothing like it. And you'll see that the universe just comes to you. Your universe is just attracted to you. Then it's just like, because the universe just says, yes! What is it that you want? Yes! I want $1 million. Yes! I want health. Yes! It just says yes. But we have to deem ourselves worthy to receive. You have to have the mind and the heart open and receptive to the giftness of the universe. But if it's saying yes to us, we go, oh, I'm tall, I'm not this, I'm not that, and we beat it down, the universe, oh, I'm bruised. But I still love you. What is it that you want now? We are such divine people. We have to understand that. We have to know that. And most of all, we have to feel it. And then when we feel it, we have to radiate it out into our world, into society. No matter what it is that you hear, be it something negative, be it something positive, improve on the positive, improve on the negative, no matter what it is, put your divine touch on it, because we all need healing. We all need healing. And you never know where your healing is going to go to assist somebody. And with that, I say, questions or concerns? Question.
How do you know when you're on the right path?
Oh, you feel it in your heart, you know. It is the desire that's within you. All of us have a desire. And that means, if you look at that word, to sire, to bring forth out of me. Out of me, D, out of me, to sire it. So there's a feeling that's within you that says this is what you should do. Now, a lot of us have many paths, many things to do. And if it's many things, then you choose one thing and start doing it. And then you'll see where you're going to be doing that other thing.
Also, healing comes from being angry all the time. A lot of people stay angry daily, 24/7, never stop. And then you don't know why you feel bad. Or your skin started up and bad. Like, the older you go, your skin comes up bad. Those kind of things you need to get rid of. And it was hard. I get angry myself sometimes. Somebody stay on me all the time about it, but I do get angry. But I try to let it go. I don't let it stay with me. Don't pull me down, put it that way.
Any other questions, concerns?
Well, the brother here, he asked this question, how do you know you're serving a purpose? And my question to you is, that purpose normally cloaked in some aspect of you knowing that you have to serve in some form of fashion?
You said, does it have to be?
Is it normally cloaked in the thought process of the feeling of serving?
Of serving?
Yeah.
It's usually something that you want to do to give to the world.
Yeah. It came to me when you asked that question.
Yeah, but it's just within you. You know, you'll have a desire, you know, I like to help children. Now you got to find out what's the best way for me to help children. Or somebody may say, you know what, I want to sew. Okay, great. What is it that you want to sew for women? You want to sew for children? You want to make household draperies? You know, whatever it is. But that feeling is already within you. And a lot of times, I guess when children say, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse. That was mine. I want to be a nurse. Well, went to school being a nurse, and we were getting off duty, and the doctor said, Dixon, get in, emergency. I was all ready, my nice little white uniform to go in, and he says, hand me the scissors. And I saw the blood. Boom. And somebody caught me because I was actually falling into the man. I had that thing about blood. How you gonna come into a profession and you don't like blood? That's what everybody was telling me. I said, well, I don't know, I've never seen that much at one time. And then, you know? So I said, okay, my healing is not gonna be going that way, right? So I went into ministry. Still healing, less blood. So yeah, usually it's something that we want to do, you know, have to give service. Yeah. Question, concerns. And you were just coming in, we were talking about healing today, and how do you heal? And you said you can heal with the look, with the touch, the sound of your voice can be healing. Your smile can be healing. Your hugs can be healing. We heal all the time, and we're not taking our credit for that healing that we're doing. Yeah. You can absorb somebody's pain too. You know, allow, you know, the feet. I did that last night to a friend, let them put their feet on my back, you know, and you can absorb their stuff. I passed out for a little while. That's okay, you know, because you have to rest from all of that, you know, absorption. But then you go home and you take your salt bath, and you let that negative stuff, you know, leave you. But before you even go in the house, just slip your shoes off and stand on the grass for a little while, because you don't want to necessarily take that energy into your house, you know. So yeah, we can heal. We can heal in a variety of ways, but we have to be willing to allow ourselves to do that, allow ourselves to do the healing, to be that which we say that we are. And sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult because your world outside of here judges you. Some of us judge one another. But we really should be loving one another and gently reminding one another of where we need to be. Because that's what we are anyway. We're all mirrors. You know, we create this for all of us to see ourselves and say, I need to be more loving. I need to be more gentle. I need whatever it is. You will see it mirrored in the people that are around you. Mm-hmm. Any other questions, concerns? No?
Well, I witnessed the smiling because you know where I was today, and they put me in the lobby of the church. I'm usually not in the lobby, and I noticed how the babies were gravitating just just because of the fact that it was coming from here, you know, and the mothers were having to run and come get them. And this one lady walked in and she said, "Can I just take your smile with me today?"
Oh,
and I said,
wow.
"Sure," you know, yeah. So I definitely understand that.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. And that's what we can do for one another. You know, even when you see Europeans, you know, on the street, give them a smile, you know. They'll love it. Oh, they forgive me.
Exactly.
Not really. Not off the hook yet. But no, you know, give them a smile. Give everybody a smile. It'll even make you feel better. You will feel the energy within inside of your own body feel better. It will lift your spirits. You won't feel so down and upset about things if you just smile. Simple little things that just smile, smile, smile. Well, if there's no other questions, concerns, we have a few announcements. We have meditation here every day except for Monday, Tuesday through Friday at 12 noon. Just come out and meditate with us for like 20 minutes and then go back to work. Go back to the plantation.
And if the plantation's in Virginia, you suggest, what did you tell us on Friday?
Then what you do is that you just tune in at 12 noon and feel the vibe, you know, connect to the vibration here at that time. Because that's a powerful hour, 12 noon. Shep, you have any other announcements? For some reason I'm thinking I'm leaving out something.
Yeah, one on the 31st of this month, which is Halloween, Friday 31st. We're having our Chi Social And she was saying about transforming the energy, you know, whenever you see something bad, then as God can transform the energy. So what we're doing is, most of us will be, part of trick-or-treat, things like that, you know, the worldly pleasures and things like that. We're just gonna take some of that energy and bring it to dynamic wellness and create a loving, wholesome, harmonious, peaceful environment. And gonna have some bottle for apples, candied apples, organic, you know, some natural sweets, natural treats, and just come out and enjoy yourself. And it'll be all treats, no tricks. And if you, we encourage everyone to dress up in either in one of your past lives, as you were in your past lives, or dress up as you see yourself as a future aspiration. So either as a past incarnation or a future aspiration. Dress up, come on out, have some fun, and you know, enjoy yourself.
And we'll have our females first Friday, and that's on November 7th. That's at 7 p.m. So tell other females about it. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. We'll be having a good time. With that same information, it'll be a females event, but I'm going to be doing that in Baltimore as well. And I've been invited to go to Tuskegee to do the same thing. So we are expanding.
Can you explain the name change?
Why the name change? Because we're not a 501c3, we're a 508. 508 is a true designation of a church to be tax exempt, if you will. So you can't use that old name.
Okay.
And I was keeping the same acronym, ISE, and what came to me was the Institute for Sacred Evolution, because we are evolving as people, and it takes time for us to understand who and what we are. So we're evolving, we're moving up, you know, we're changing. The Institute for Sacred Evolution. And it's you know, we're changing, we're moving, we're doing things differently, and we're really getting to a point where we're assisting people to understand that they're God. You know how difficult that is for people to accept that? I mean, you know, you guys here in this room may be okay with it, but you go outside and try to tell somebody out there, blasphemy! Right, you know, so it's a good thing. Huh? A card? What type of card? Oh, okay. You want one of my business cards? Oh, I haven't had them made yet. We just, I just mailed off the information. Really, I just got it back, but this week, yeah, we just got it back this week. So, we had to register in the state of Oregon because there's not that many states that actually honor the 508. What people fail to realize is that the 503(1) was created in 1969 because church and state are separated. But with the 501c3, that brought the church back under the control of the state. That's why ministers chose not to say anything about homosexuality. That's why they chose not to say anything about marriage, because when they became 501c3s and they were able to get federal grant money, that was the hold that the state had on them. Okay, and they relinquished their right to marry and not marry people.
So this is a 508 plus
A 508(1)(a).
1A.
So you had to get a name for the soul and then a name for the church.
So they don't marry no more? Preachers?
Yeah, they do, but all of your certificates and everything are registered downtown. Yeah.
So
that
this
was-
is still be registered by the government too, also?
What?
The 508?
No.
They
No, they can't touch you.
they don't have it.
No, in other words, if I standing up here right here today and I talk about homosexuality, if I was a 501c3, they could take things away from me. They can say, we're taking your grant, we're taking church away because I'm under their umbrella. But when I'm a 508, I am truly God ordained, as I have always stated that I am, but they wanted to bring me back up under the umbrella. Then I can talk about homosexuality. I can talk about political parties up here. I can talk about the church, the Catholic Church, and what they do, and they can't touch me.
All right. You can still apply for grants.
No,
No.
because that's their money. And that's why it becomes very important, because we've been self-sustained here. It's you guys giving money here to pay the rent here to keep us in the first place. So we now have to really become who we say we are, those God-divine people, and be that church. Because if you think about all of those mega churches that are out there, people are giving like 10% of their salary every Sunday. You know, I went to one just because I'm a minister, and I was invited, and they said, you know, come to this workshop and we're going to show you how to make $50,000. I said, wow, let me go to this. So I went. And when you go, they direct you to a seat. And I don't know if you've ever been in one of those big cathedrals with all the big seats. So they make sure that that whole row is filled. So I'm sure they know how many people sitting in that row. So say there's 25, 50 people, maybe even 80 or 100. So I stood out. I told the guy, I said, I'm sitting in the middle because I'm not Baptist and I didn't know if I could take it in there. So he said, y'all ain't praying to the Lord. You wouldn't be claustrophobic. I said, I just want to sit on the end. Is that all right? So I just stood back and I let people fill in, right? And I was able to sit on the end. Well, how they get $50,000 is they ask everybody in the audience to write a check for 50 something or whatever it was. So, you know what I mean? It was a couple cents, but it was an exact amount, and he wanted everybody in there. So that meant that everybody who was in those rows, if they did that, they already knew how much that row was going to bring in. And they had other rows, you know, what do you call it, roped off, so you couldn't sit over there if you wanted to, so everybody was together. So all they had to do was look and say, well, we got that section filled, that's 100 right there. So what they did, everybody wrote their check or their credit card and said, if you don't have money, they got a money machine out in front. Go and get your money machine. So when everybody got back into the church, they asked them, they said, now, they did a ritual. I've never seen this before. Tell everybody hold either your credit card or that check up. And he said, now we're gonna wave it in the air like we just don't care. And we're seeding the earth with this money. And you can see a wave of people waving right like this. Then they bring the basket out. It's a round basket. It has 2 handles on it. So you drop yours and you turn it like that, and the other person touches, and it goes all the way down. And you can see. It's unbelievable. But they're pulling in the money. They're pulling in the money. So here's my basket. But really, I mean, you have to see what it is that they're doing. And I'm saying that if they're bringing in all of that money, where the healing, where are our own schools?
That's right.
You know, where are our own hospitals for our people? You know, where are our own shelters where we can house a mother who's being beat by her spouse and let her stay there? You know what I'm saying? But they're just building up these big churches, mega churches in huge parking lots. But see, with that 501c3, that means that every 3 years you have to still report to the government how much you've made. So that's the control. That's what, and that was only done in '69. So who was that? LBJ Johnson. That was one of his executive orders. Bring you back under. Yeah. That's what they always do. It's just like when we're reading, when you're signing your W-4, when you know, to pay your taxes thing. Right on there, it will tell you, you should change this every year. And most people, they get a job and they stay in their job 40, 50 years and have never changed theirs. They've never changed their deductions. So it just keeps rolling over and the government keeps raking it in because you said you were going to do it. Now, if you didn't sign it, then you don't have to do it. But everybody has signed it. And then your job try to make you feel like you got to sign it. But if you don't know that and you sign it, then you're not they got you. So this is what we are going to be teaching here. You know, how to be a real true citizen and a true spiritual person of this earth. Because you have to understand how to operate within the society in which you live in, as well as be that spiritual person. Because your spirit is what underlines everything that you do. Because if you're thinking correct thoughts and doing correct things, then every law that you make on your land will be viable to you. And you'll understand why you're making certain decisions and why you're doing certain things. And this is what we have to learn, is that commerce. You know, we have to learn, do I need a driver's license? No, that was just money that they made. You know, say you need a driver's license so that they could get more money from you. You don't need a driver's license unless you plan to be driving somebody around, you know, like driving Miss Daisy. Then you would need a license. But you're just transporting yourself.
Just travel.
Traveling, right, thank you. See, and there's terminology, just say traveling, you know, as opposed to. So it's a lot of little things. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask that, yeah.
I have two more announcements.
Okay.
One on the 21st, which is a Tuesday this month. Myself and Dr. U will be at Dynamic Wellness. There's going to be we're going to hold a injury recovery workshop, inflammation in joints, even injury, things like that. Natural ways to help reduce inflammation, you know, bring those things back into ease. As well as on the 27th of this month, which is a Monday, we're going to be here at ISC with this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we're going to be doing a workshop on natural ways to help from an emotional standpoint, physiological standpoint, physical standpoint, and how to help reverse those things and get you in a proper state of mind. So, and what we're doing is once a month, we're going to be doing workshops on what we call, you know, the diseases that most affect us. So once a month, we're going to go to workshops how to naturally bring whatever dis-ease we have in our bodies back into ease and alignment and reverse the process. So that's Tuesday the 21st at Dynamic Wellness, Inflammation and Joint Recovery, and Monday the 27th here at ISC, Breast Cancer Awareness.
So there's some people who are not here today because they're traveling. Sheila and Darlene, David, so, you know, in your thoughts, send them out some good vibrations, you know, for those people who are traveling. I know David needs it. He's having trouble with his car. So. With your assistance. I'll just put it here so that. So any comments, concerns?
I just need some tissue.
Oh, there's some tissue. No questions.
You know, comments. You know, sometimes it's not, you know.
Okay, all right.
No, I was just telling Crystal in the bathroom that a lot of things that I have been listening to and learning here, you know, I can apply it into that. I was, you know, because I was at the church today, and I saw how I could apply a lot of where I could still grow, but I'm still gonna be in that, you know, I'm still be in a certain environment, you know, in my life, and that they can see that, you know, it was amazing how people came up today and were like, what is going on with you? You know, you lost weight, which I have, but you know, that's not what it is. And I just, you know, thank you, you know. And so I'm really grateful because I know one of my struggles was how to, because I'm in two worlds, you know, until I make the decision to come out of one of the worlds, you know, all well to which one I'm talking about, but I can still do this. That it's not impossible to do that.
As long as you're on this plane, we're gonna always be in two worlds.
Right. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got you.
So we'll just wait for them to come in and we can close out unless somebody has a question.
Is that the DVD right there? Oh, yeah, TV.
Oh, that's another thing. We're gonna have a movie, the fifth Sunday of every month. We're gonna be showing this. So I think there's gonna be November the first one. So John is stacking them up. He's getting ready for them. If you haven't seen Lucy, you need to see Lucy.
And we established a new curriculum for the new day. Or is it?
Well, I'm always changing books. And, so that was a given. One of the newer books is The Biology of Belief. That's in, we'll make some more books on that.
I don't really have a tea at home, and I sure would like to have those DVDs. Where do you get those?
That's Seascape, that one. That's by John. He put that together. And it has music. It's just down low so that we can hear this music, you know, during meditation.
That is really calming.
It is.
This is the first time you've done it since I've been here. And that really, that destroyed a lot out of me that I had been able to get out of me.
Oh,
Today.
good.
And plus with the healing thing I have, that is real, that's a good idea right there. I like that.
That's what I should.
Water. Water is always healing.
Yeah, yes.
And that's another thing, you know, when you start knowing these little things like, say you have something that's not so good in your life and you want to break that psychic connection, the first thing you do is take a bath in salt water or either go out to an actual salt body of water in nature. I don't know if anybody's aware, but when Clinton got in trouble with Monica Lewinsky, that's what he did. He went to Africa. So he crossed the waters to break the psychic connection with him. And that's when he received the news. He was in Africa when he received the news that he was, you know, charged and released. Now I knew it because I understood what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of these rituals are being taken place, there are rituals that take place right in front of us, but we're not aware of it. That's why the president is always sworn in at high noon. Somebody knows something about you
Oh, absolutely.
that they ain't telling you. Because if you knew all of the things about yourself, you know, and how to work it, how to work your magic wand. You gotta have a spine, you gotta be able to stand up straight, you know, and allow that energy to go up your spine. And then when it gets to the crown chakra, it overflows, my cup overflows. It wasn't just a little halo around Yeshua's head, it was around his whole body. Because he glowed from those sun heat genes that are in your bone marrow. When the sun hits you and it allows your DNA to start, you know, vibrating, then your hair curls. Because you're the only beings on the face of the earth that has that natural curl, just like the cosmos, like a plant. That's who you is, but you need to know that. You need to know about the melanin in your skin and how to use that pineal gland. How to raise up that energy, you know? How to see in between the angles and not angels. Well, not angels, but angles of light. That's where you get illumination from. That's why you never say, oh Lord, give me strength. What do? You get more problems. Give me illumination. And illumination is not light. It's knowledge, it's understanding, it's knowing how to do the thing. Come on, God. And so you need all of that, because once you start, oh yeah, you know, you speak your words with authority, you know how to use your crystals when you have to use them. You know? You start understanding that. You start understanding their vibration. You understand the movements that you do. Why are you moving? What am I doing? You know, you start doing your mudras. You gotta do it, folks. You gotta. And this is no game. The only game is in town is really them playing on you, because you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. And you get smacked around, and that's what happens to us. We usually get smacked around because we don't even know what's going on. We think we know because they brainwash you to think that what they showed you is all that there is, and that's a lie. They're behind the scenes going, watch this.
Yeah.
Look at this one coming. But we don't know. And these are the things that we need to know. We need to know how to do it. When they tell you, you shouldn't be doing no voodoo, why not? And it's not voodoo, it's voodoo. That's yours. You should understand that. You should know how to work your magic. They even sing a song about the black magic woman. And all of them want to poke her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even the Muslims, when they make their Hajj, and they in the black box, and everybody stick their head in it and kiss it. Go and look what's in there to kiss it all. It is the yoni. And the only way you're ever gonna get your wings is to lay down between a woman's legs. And you see them the legs up. That's your wings. Hello. See, we need to know these things. Oh, I saw an angel. Yeah, just can't be no ways. You just went to heaven. You just spent all your time trying to get back. Come on. I never really thought about it like that. Well, thank you, young men. Think. Honor your mothers and fathers so that their days may be long upon the face of the earth. And we're not doing that. We're not giving homage and honor to who we are as divine people so that our days may be long. Because I really, really, really know, and I believe, that that's how we knew how long the cycles would last. Because we lived to be 900, 120 years. We lived to be that long. So that we can name those cycles, to say that this is the Aquarian cycle, or this is the Gemini cycle, or the Taurus cycle. We lived that long to witness those cycles. See, we don't know anything about the 2,160-year cycle. We know about the yearly cycle. We know about spring, summer, fall. We know about those, the week. But that 2,160-year cycle, because the white man sure didn't tell you. He just came out the mountains, 2,000 years ago or something, whatever it was, right? So he can only give you what he's stolen.
That's right.
And what he thinks that he understands, because he doesn't understand it all. But see, when your DNA starts heating up because of what you know, and you allow your divine locks, because I do believe that we are now starting to wake up, Some of us just sitting on the side of the bed. Some of us are up and running. It is amazing how wonderful you are. And I would encourage you all, write down your dreams, because even when I just said that about running, I was a young girl. I had to be 13, 14, 16, somewhere around in there. And I had a dream that I was in a hospital ward, and there were just beds and beds and beds and beds, beds and beds and beds of people. And the hospital ward was all like gray, like this carpet, the whole surrounding, except for the beds, they were white. And I was in one of the beds, but I was like a mummy. And I could only see, through my eyes, and I was just, but I was laying down in the bed. And all of a sudden I was able to flip myself with my legs hanging over the side. And a nurse was coming and said, no, you can't get up, you can't get up. And I got up, and the bandages started coming off. And I started walking, and then I started running, and the bandages just started flowing off of me. Now, even when I was running in my mother's backyard, because you see things that you're familiar with. But what I'm saying to you is that I had that dream when I was somewhere between 13 and 16. I'm understanding it now. Because it was telling me something about what I was going to be doing, although I had no idea of what I was going to do. Even when Spirit whispered in my ear, you know, you are a soul navigator. What is that? What is a soul navigator? Hello? Helping souls. You have to listen to what it is that you're saying to yourself, God. Because you're saying a lot of things to yourself. You're telling yourself how great you are, how wonderful you are. And every one of those things that you're telling yourself that you can do it. Because nobody else can do it for you but you. Nobody can do it for you but you. And if I hear one more person say, I don't know, because you do know. Because he gets on me all the time. What? What was that you say? You should try. But I love him for it because he keeps me on point. You know, but we do know when you stop. That is the cop-out that we give ourselves. I don't know. I don't even know why I did that. Yes, you do. You just sit down and think about why you did it. The answer will come to you. Whether you want to accept it, whether you want to be a big girl or a big boy and accept your answer, because you know I want everybody to like me, so I don't want them to know that I really want to punch them out or whatever it is, you know, that negative thing that you were thinking, because we do it. And then we want to hide. You cannot hide. You cannot hide. Anything that you are doing, it is known. Believe me. Believe me. Because see, there are ways that you can see or tell things. Nobody may not say anything, but they know. They know. I can remember when I was trying to, when I was a young woman and I was pregnant. She had a girlfriend who was a nurse, and they were in the kitchen, and I came down, and she said, "Girl, you gaining weight?" No, I'm not gaining weight. I was pregnant, but I didn't want them to know, so I lied. So she said, "Yeah, girl," she just touched me. You know, she touched me. If they could tell, girl, she touched my face. See, they the old women, they know. She said, "Yeah, that's she pregnant." All we gotta do is listen to ourselves. We do know. And you can't hide. There's nothing that you can hide. I can even tell you the age of a woman or age of a man, and I'm not going to tell you, but I can tell because there's a certain part of your body that's always going to tell on you. Always. It's just what it is. But if we don't know these things about ourselves, then you don't know. You don't know. So anyway. No questions, no concerns. Let's pray ourselves out. There's some nice children in the back.
Cool.
Yes, girl, boy, hands, thumbs left to flow the energy. Men and women.